I've been listening to your talks. I like it very much. I've heard you speak about law of attraction, that if used in the right way with openness and expansiveness, you can get what you want and feel abundant. My question is, with the positive things and expansion happening, will it continue forever, or is it still subject to duality and ups and downs of life? Thank you, Santosh. Expansion is eternal. You can't stop or start expansion. So this universe, they say that it's a big bang and then it expands continuously outwards, and then at one point it will stop expanding. So knowledge is infinite, possibilities are infinite, everything is infinite. And I do believe that when you align with more of what you want, from flow, from this place of flow, this openness rather than a seeking energy, that your external life will reflect your internal feeling. So it will reflect love and abundance. It's kind of ironic, the law of attraction stuff, because the more you become, you can only really do a law of attraction when you are very free. There could still be contraction or identification to an extent, but there has to be like a big amount of freedom to really do it. But ironically, the more free you become, also the more freedom there is, the less you want. So, I mean, like I don't really want a mansion. Or lots of money or lots of things. So therefore it won't manifest. But I do believe that the way in which we act in a harmonious way with our environment is that we follow this expansion. So in this moment, like the reason that I speak in this very moment, right now, right here, is from love. It's like this expansive feeling, and like I want to express love. And it's not even personal, it's not even about you or me as such, even though there's some form of knowing that there's people listening. It's just like in my belly, like from my sacral chakra, there is this feeling of love, and then in my solar plexus, in my heart, and it like rises up and it wants to come out. Like this expression of wanting to express love. So in this moment, that is why I do these talks, or why I'm talking to you in this moment. And this is what I think that we should follow. Often what we're following is like a contractedness or a scaredness or a darkness or a seeking energy. And I feel like what happens is, as you become more balanced and recognize yourself, and there's detachment from separation, then there's a dropping into the body and there's more flow that happens. And it's still something that's expanding in me. Like I don't always follow that feeling. It feels like it could expand infinitely in me. And it's moment by moment. So in a different moment, like I'm writing a book at the moment. I've told you guys about it many times. That's why I stopped doing so many talks and doing so many events. And when I do it, it's it's again actually that I want to express love. I thought it might be and there's other little deviations in that. So it's like there's another part that wants to express humor and cuteness and sweetness and innocence, but it's predominantly expressing love. I think a lot of my motivation is about expressing love. That's the same feeling I get when I do sessions with people. It comes from here. It's actually in it's in my sacral chakra, because creativity and love are the same. So your sacral chakra, like that sense of, so the sacral chakra is like sexuality and creativity. So this is creativity, and when I work it's creativity. A lot of what I do is creativity, so it comes from the sacral chakra. And it's also sexuality, because sexuality is creativity. But they're also love. It's also this like really beautiful, pure, orgasmic love. That's why when doing Tantra, you can like get into these immense states of love. And they're actually really similar. Often for a lot of people, this one though is in fear, the sacral chakra, and in anxiety and worry that it won't work out, or a sense of being what's that word, you know, when you have your balls chopped off, like made small. And a lot of people have a lot of issues with this solar plexus about making choices. So they can't make choices, so they can't be creative. These types of things. But I think these kind of like coincide with like the waking up. And not always, I don't always act out of it. Like sometimes that chakra closes and then I act out of fear, but I get the feeling that over time you act more and more from that openness and this natural flow of want. And I think wants and the chakras are so healthy, like in the beginning of the day, acknowledging what it is you want today. What is it that I want to do? And listing it out the night before. Or before you do a particular item, like listing out what it is you want, and trying to find the want that makes you feel open, not the want that makes you feel closed, not like, do paperwork to get it off my list. It's like try and find that openness about it, that love part about it. God, just even speaking about it, sending me into waves of love. Like, because everything, even like cleaning the house and doing really mundane jobs that you don't like vacuuming. We don't call it vacuuming in England, we call it hoovering, but I know that's odd to most people. I do not like hoovering. Trying to get that nozzle thing around the house without bumping into everything and tripping over and getting caught in the wire. It doesn't work well for the built-up of this body. But if that's what the destiny is, then there's a surrender to it. And you can even open up to that. Like, I want to make the house really clean. I want to, I want my partner to feel great when they walk in and see how clean it is. I want to do the shake and back and put the freshness back. Yeah, da 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 da. Only English people will know what that is, maybe of older age as well. Maybe younger people don't know it. Do the shake and back and put the freshness back. Yeah, da 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 da. I can't remember those words, the last bit. Yes, so, and to me, so I forgot the most important part, is that you have these desires. So my desire is that I want to express love, and then you give it to life as to whether that happens or not. But I feel that when you're really in line with that, then like this is all created by your mind, which is God. So that's what you're going to experience. That's what the energy is going to attract. Like if you're in hatred and violence and anger, then you're more than likely going to attract a victim, or you're going to attract a perpetrator. Like your energy is going to attract that. So yes, and it's all your mind. Like whose world is this? I mean, whose mind is it? Is it the person's or consciousnesses? It's both, isn't it? I mean, it's so mind-blowing, this. But anyway, whatever it is that, yes, for sure, your vibration affects what is experienced, but it doesn't really matter what appears. Like I've told you guys many times, for lockdown, I've ended up in a very small apartment, and I'm super happy here. I had some notions, because me and my partner both work from home, and in my house in France, that we need a bit more space, you know. Like say he has an office and I have an office, and we can lay all our stuff out properly. And I ended up in an apartment that's maybe the size of my lounge in France, and maybe a bit bigger than my lounge, but not much. And I've been living from a small suitcase of stuff since December, and it's just perfect. So like I don't think that there's something wrong with my desire, the fact that I ended up in this apartment. So law of attraction doesn't necessarily mean that, like, if you get law of attraction right, that you're going to end up in a mansion with servants and all this. You kind of end up with perfection, with the perfect scenario. And this scenario is so perfect here.